Okay, welcome to a battle in the Skoda T56. I've had this thing a little while. I haven't been playing it a lot, but now that the ANZ server's gone, I've been playing a lot more higher tier games again. Still not getting great ping on the Asia 1 server. It's very variable. You can see it's jumping around between about 180 to 200 at the moment, but I'm also finding it jumps as high as about 450, 550 at times. But anyway, we won't worry too much about that. So here we are in a tier 8, tier 7 game, which is really quite good matchmaking for this tank. It is, I think, basically thought of as probably the best of the premium tanks that you can get at tier 8, and it is certainly a good tank, but it does particularly well in these sorts of battles where it's top tier, and primarily you know, when it gets into a tier 10 battle, or maybe even a tier 9, it will struggle. It's the pen on this thing is not great, so the standard rounds have a pen of about 208mm, and the premium rounds are just under 250, so 248, which is okay, but for a lot of premium tanks are significantly better than that these days. There are a few, well, there's quite a few that are better than that. Like a lot of them have sort of about 260 pen on their premium rounds, and the really good ones, like things like the Lurva, have significantly more. Again, they have about up to 290. Now 290 works quite well against higher tier tanks. The 248 on this doesn't. Couldn't get a pen there. Anyway, we are going to try and hold the position here against all comers and hopefully get a bit of damage in the process. Just got to watch out, there's a Comet holding our flank off to our right, and there is, our guys are pushing the other flank, which is good, but not if they get killed. So we just have to keep an eye on that. Well, we just, by putting pressure, by sitting on the cap there, while that Tiger's there, well, that was good. While that Tiger's there, it's going to make us hard to put too much pressure on, because obviously he's on the cap as well. But now he's starting to get hit. I'm not sure who's getting him. They must be getting him either from the top of the hill, perhaps. We'll get another nice one into him. Now, one of the things with this tank is, because it's a 2-shot autoloader, it gives you great sort of damage. You can do 900 damage in 3.5 seconds, but you do have this 15-16 second reload once you fire your 2 shots. So it's always a good idea when you're down to 1 shot and there's an opportunity to actually reload and get back to your full 2 shots. I was hoping I could get a couple of shots on these guys here. I'm a little bit worried about what might be behind them on the hill. There's usually a few TDs on the hill over the other side here that will shoot this gap. So we won't be too greedy here, we'll be a little bit cautious. The FCM certainly is a tasty little morsel, no armor on that thing, for a heavy tank. I keep getting spotted by, or basically proxy spotted by the guys that are near us. Now this thing also does not have a great deal of armor. It's actually only got 100mm on the front plate. It's very well angled, and it has, I think it's about 220 on the turret, so that's not too bad. Oh, we didn't really want that to happen. Now let's see if we can get a consolation shot into this guy. Yep. not worth trying to get a second one there. Again, you just don't know what's behind him there. So we pull back, reload again, and get back to where we were now. Just be careful going across here. You don't want to get spotted crossing here, because that sort of thing can happen. Both the positions there where that greenery is are exposed to fire, not just from the heavy tanks that are right there, but any TDs that are on the hill behind them at about K6 or thereabouts. This game's sort of going down fairly evenly. We're behind here, but we're hanging on. A bit further behind at this stage. Oh, and here comes the T57. He's going to try and push round. So the Type 57, I should say. There we go. Now this thing has not bad gun depression. I think it's about 7 degrees, but it's very workable for a heavy tank, and that's why I prefer this tank particularly to the Object 7032, which is probably the other really popular current tier 8 premium tank. So again, we'll just go for another reload. So far we've managed to do 1600 damage and haven't been hit back in return, which is always nice. Yeah, it looks like oh, there he is. Looks like we're going to get attacked by this guy, so I'm going to have to attack him. Now I've just got to be very wary of this heavy that's over here, so we'll try and take him out first. Yeah. Luckily he was a one shot. This is a 130mm gun, and it does 460 damage, so again it's a very potent tank. Now I'll kill this guy hopefully. Oh, geez, I was a bit lucky there, I think, because it's bouncing around all over the place. And you can see, even with that thing, this gun was only about a 50-50 to pen his frontal armour. Okay, now we're spread all over the shop. Can't quite figure out why the STA can't get a shot on the AMX there, but he doesn't seem to manage to do it. But sort of coming back into a defensive position near the cap. I'm not sure, I have no idea where these two tanks are, the Jag Panther and the the Panther 2 I should say. Oh, there they are. Okay. Yes, Panther 2 is not a particularly frightening tank. Fairly underwhelming at this tier, but anyway, we'll see what we can do to upset his plans. Now, I'm just being very careful to aim this gun because it is very, oh gee, that was a bit unlucky. I suppose both those rolls were right on average or just above, so I can't complain about that. Oh, and there's a 30, so I've got to get away from him. I've got to reload. Take him out. Try and avoid the hit from the 30. Thought I might have had a shot through there, but no. Old JP's bouncing around everywhere. So it is an interesting tank to play this. The two shots is brilliant because you can do like 900 damage really quickly. But, oh that's good. The 30's now gone. Fix our turret up. Come on, load. He's just trying to avoid me, isn't he? Well, the others are going to get him. Oh, and the light tank shooting. And he bounces, so look, at this stage, we may as well cap. I suspect strongly the light tank won't bother to come and try and get us, but I suppose you never know. But there's a nice little spot in here where if we take up positions at sort of each of these different points, it's very unlikely he's going to be able to sneak up and surprise us and cook one of us out with an escape. But you never know, so we'll prepare. I say it's good to have 3 tanks so we can sort of watch different angles of approach. And we'll just count him down. He's got 40 seconds to do something. My guess is he probably won't do anything. But yeah, look, that's a good game in this tank. Certainly not an amazing game. 3,700 damage. This thing has some monster games, particularly when it comes up against tier 6s and tier 7s. It's very powerful. Its armor is not great, but if you if you keep your tank hull down and just show the turret, you have a pretty good chance of not getting penned, and the gun is really good against lower tier or bigger tiered targets. So there we go, that was an M1 in this thing. Right, that was a pretty intense little battle there, fighting around that cap circle till we sort of cleaned them all out. Anyway, let's have a look at the battle results, see how we did. So we can see it was an M1, we got 4 kills, and what else did we do? We managed to do 3,703 damage, a little bit of spotting assist probably, but yeah, that was not a bad effort around that cap circle there. I was a bit surprised we didn't get shot up by perhaps the little TD that came around at the end and tried to get us. But there you go, we did pretty well. We actually got the highest damage in the game. The BZ-166 did really well. The little XM did quite okay too, and certainly at the end there, the STA and the IKV really helped us out with those last 2 tanks, which was really good. And how do we go monetarily? We did really well, and this is pretty much almost a full gold loadout, but I was firing gold pretty much, I think, the whole game, and I still made 54,000. This is what I really like about this tank. It is a premium tank that makes money even if you fire full premium, and there's a big difference in the premium round, so it's worth doing. But there you go, 11 shots, 11 hits and 10 pens. That's not bad. So yeah, thanks for watching anyway. That was not a bad game.